Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Bennie Carter. I wanted to try something new this time around, and I'm gonna just go ahead and read you guys my new post. So, I don't know if this is gonna be a YouTube video or a podcast, but feel free to just follow along. The vocabulary of ultimate success. I recently was reading a book by a well-respected author of mine, Tony Robbins. One of the concepts in the book that caught my eye was this idea of the vocabulary of ultimate success. Vocabulary. Words. They've been used to make us laugh or cry. They can wound or heal. They offer us hope or devastation. With words, we can make our noblest intentions felt and our deepest desires known. Seeing as how I'm in the business of making money online, and copywriting is a useful skill, this was definitely something that gave me the slap I needed to get my curious juices flowing. What I learned. Realize now the power that your words command if you simply choose them wisely. Tony Robbins. The words you habitually choose also affect how you communicate with yourself and therefore what you experience. Tony Robbins. The words that you choose to use have such a powerful impact on your life that they directly influence how you think, how you feel, even how you live. Never underestimate the power of what comes out of your mouth. Words can be used to form new beliefs. They can be changed with words as well. As a matter of fact, our nation's view of racial equality was certainly shaped by actions, but those actions were inspired by impassioned words. Who can forget the moving speech Martin Luther King Jr. made by painting his vision with words? I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live the true meaning of its creed. Martin Luther King Jr. Many of us are aware of the powerful part words have played in our history, but aren't aware of our ability to use these same words to move ourselves emotionally, strengthen our spirits, and move ourselves to action to seek greater richness from this gift we call life. Examples from my life. After learning some of what I shared with you here, it was only natural that this concept would appear later in the coming days. I was sitting down with a friend as he answered his phone, and because the speaker was blasting, I could hear the caller asking my friend how he was feeling. Bored, my friend replied. Then responding to what he told himself, he shuffled around in his chair, laid his chin in his hand, and let out a huge sigh. Remembering what I had read, my brain began performing backflips. Bored? Bennie, you're bored, I told myself. Next thing I knew, I was slumping over with both hands on my chin in a state of misery, boredom if you will. It definitely wasn't the most positive of emotions, and I decided to test out another more positive approach based off of what I had learned. Later that day, my cousin called asking how I was feeling. I sat up straight in my chair, felt an overwhelming sense of confidence, ready to tackle any challenge, and grinned from ear to ear as I shouted, "Unstoppable." The power of a single word. What I experienced was definitely an eye-opener for me. I could change the way I felt about things and how I responded to them simply by changing my usage of a single word. When I used the word bored in an attempt to explain how I was feeling, it brought about all types of negativity in my emotions and physiology. Out of all of the words I could have possibly chosen to explain my feelings, I chose a negative one that would definitely hurt me in the long run and stunt my growth. The moment I chose not to limit myself with the use of my vocabulary, my world had expanded. I gave myself the power to completely transform the way I felt about things. I felt good, ready to tackle the world, and it's an experience I can now create whenever I want. A fun game you can play. Let's incorporate this into our daily lives by playing a fun little game that you can begin right now. Think of 2 negative emotions or expressions in 2 good words or expressions that you use on a regular basis. We're going to replace the words we've chosen with more empowering words that knock our socks off so that we can't help but to feel differently. Here were some of mine. A negative emotion or expression. Depressed. You might say I'm depressed or I'm feeling depressed. And I hate. You might say I hate this, or I hate doing this or I hate that. Okay? Depressed is going to transform to calm before action. So if I was feeling down for any reason, or something detrimental just, or something really bad just happened, and somebody asked me how I'm feeling, instead of saying depressed like I've conditioned myself to do, I'm gonna say, you know what, I'm calm before action. Brings about a whole different type of emotion in your body. You know, instead of saying I hate my babysitter, I hate, my job, how about I prefer to have something better. I prefer not to work here. I prefer to have a different babysitter. It completely changes the way, Anyways, two good words, okay? Two good words that I use are positive, But as opposed to just having good words here, I want great words, empowering words that are gonna knock my socks off. So pretty good and motivated. Those are good words, right? Well, instead of saying I'm pretty good or that food was, whatever, I'm gonna use invincible. How are you feeling, Benny? I'm invincible. It just does something to you. How are you feeling, Benny? I'm motivated. You know what? No, I'm not motivated. I'm juiced. I'm juiced. Give it a go. Just give it a try. It's done amazing things for me, and I'm sure it will for you too. So, an ending thought. People with an impoverished vocabulary live an impoverished emotional life. People with rich vocabularies have a multi-hued palette of colors with which to paint theirs as well. I'm going to read that one more time. It hits so hard. People with an impoverished vocabulary live an impoverished emotional life. People with rich vocabularies have a multi-hued palette of colors with which to paint their experience, not only for others, but for themselves as well. Tony Robbins. Sorry, somebody was coming in the door there. You can change your experience by simply changing the words you use to describe it. With such an amazing tool up your sleeve, there's no reason why you shouldn't live the type life you've always dreamed of. All of your memories and experiences will be painted with empowering words that continue to challenge, embolden, and strengthen you. Now I know that has to sound good. Bennie Carter. You guys, you can check out this free video here by clicking the link down below, or click where you see free video and see how I've been using this simple blog and my vocabulary to make some extra cash. Bennie Carter, signing out. You guys leave me some comments.